member suggestion, so that member can reveal themselves depending on the reaction of the joke, if they like. So, all right. Why didn't the hot dog? Oh, I misspelled that. Why didn't the hot dog want to be in a movie? He wasn't very impressed by the roles. He also probably didn't want me in a movie, but. All right, and then, I decided I don't have that many meetings left. So I'm going to start pushing the envelope a little bit on the jokes, all right? Yeah, I mean, it is live streamed, so I'm going to try and not get the club in trouble. There's certain ones I've left out that I don't want picked up, which Andy can talk about, the AI algorithm. I don't want it labeling us, so try and keep it reasonable. So, a man walked into an enchanted forest, tries to cut down a talking tree. You can't cut me down, the tree explains. I'm a talking tree. The man responds, you may be a talking tree, but you will dialogue. Not too dark. It's okay, right? Slightly more edgy, but not. I always look at John. I don't know why. I'm looking for your blessing on the joke. I don't know.
That was great.
Was that a good one? Thank you. Appreciate that. You like that one? Okay. Well, I'll keep pushing it. We'll see. By June 31st of the installment, I mean, you don't know what'll happen. All right. Don't forget, Hotcakes and Holly is starting to ramp up. So everybody keep that in mind. We've got our tentative date for the event scheduled for December 12th. First committee meeting will be, I never changed this date, sorry, will be the first Tuesday after Roy is back. So I think that is actually the 3rd, 4th? Whatever, the first Tuesday of June is when our board meeting, or our committee meeting will be before the regular meeting. And you can see Andy or myself. It's the all Andrew crowd for Hotcakes and Holly this year, so you can see us as well. So our speaker today is actually going to be our very own Andy Kauffman. I will say, and I know this is not original, and I already apologize, I was very close to mocking myself for occasionally not having the correct picture by putting a picture of the comedian Andy Kauffman up there. I almost did. But then I thought about it, and I'm like, maybe he won't see that as me mocking myself. But So we're going to talk a little bit about AI today, and I'm going to attempt to swap spots with him and help out while we do that.
I have a request to play a video first. A trailer for a movie.
Oh, I've seen some of these. Is this club appropriate?
Is this the right one? Hungry?
Okay. Was this suggested by Gloria? Who did I hear saying they wanted? Okay, then it's probably
anonymous.
Okay.
The volume, because we don't have that huge speaker. If we just had that thing somewhere, it would be a lot better than this laptop will be. But let's see if we can be.
What the hell did that? Something big. Your wound. Hey, come look at this. What is? It's the most dangerous animal responsible for over 500 human deaths a year.
It's so cute.
Only cute hippo is a dead hippo. Man-eaters.
Welcome to New Orleans.
We're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time. He has given us a discount to go see alligators in the bayou.
Please, arms and legs inside the vehicle.
What the hell did that?
Something big.
Your wound, it would need a 10-inch tooth.
Are we even supposed to be here right now?
We're off course.
You're safe as long as you stay out of the water.
We're gonna get you out of here. Hey, we're over here! Get us out of here.
Anyone sees anything, point in the direction.
Boss. Where?
You know how it could have got here?
Holy shit. Easy, girl.
Run!
Hippos are vegetarian. He ain't killing you to eat you. He's killing you for fun.
Oh, you are literally the worst tour operator.
Pretty intense. Definitely a example of why we need a TV or a projector or something. Even if we turn all the lights off, it's still kind of startling.
Please note the date of the release of that movie. That's Tracy Bonner, who has second bill. It was filmed in the Maltese Islands, so she did get a chance to go to the Vatican.
Cool.
But
This is a movie that's happening.
yes.
I thought this was an AI trailer.
No.
Oh.
That's not.
I'm showing an AI trailer.
Okay. Wow.
The movie will be released June 23rd at a theater near you. Okay?
That is kind of the problem with doing a this topic. There's so many things. I mean, I really almost would have and should have had time to pick just one aspect of 100 to talk about because, I mean, just AI movie trailers, that's a big one. I mean, it's probably a year ago the first time I got one that came across. I was like, oh, that looks like a good movie. Completely fake, but the whole thing was done so well that there was, I mean, I really thought it was coming out for probably a couple weeks, and then I was like, wait a minute, was that AI? And I went and looked back and was like, yeah, and then I started seeing all these new trailers come up. But yeah, AI, it's not really the future. It's already here. Like it's everywhere we look. It's everything we do. Every single one of us in here, for the most part, some of us try to stay away, but have stories of where AI, we're using it at work. We're using it, you know, we're going to Wendy's and AI is talking to us to order our food now. We're calling places and AI is talking to us on the phone. I personally,
for a mortgage company with an AI recruiter.
it's crazy. But I personally am trying to be on the forefront of offering AI to businesses in Murfreesboro, in Tennessee, and for about 2 years now have been pretty serious on the voice aspect of AI, being able to call and talk to it, but not like the AI that you hear when you call Verizon or even the one at Wendy's or all those, a little bit more like an actual employee, and they're called AI workforce. But what's happening is those AI employees are taking over positions, and I wouldn't say taking over, they're assisting positions, and pretty much any position that's something where people are on the phone can be replaced, but there's a lot of other stuff that could be not replaced, enhanced. That's another thing that everybody's kind of getting wrong in their heads, and I'm seeing it over and over again working with these businesses, is we're all worried about like, oh my gosh, in the future, none of us are going to be working. Robots and AI is going to take over everything. How are we going to make any money? Hundreds of thousands of jobs, millions of jobs lost. But everything that I'm seeing whenever I'm offering AI to a business, they're not firing or getting rid of or not hiring. They're enhancing. So now those same employees can do so much more where before they couldn't. It's happening that way everywhere, like in everything. It's crazy. My favorite field is the medical, but I could talk about that for a while in what it's doing for the medical field. But there's a lot, and I'm not even in medical anymore. I don't even have clients necessarily using it. I just keep hearing about it, researching it, studying it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Something I've been looking into for many years is, you know, just anything to increase our lifespans, anything to increase our daily living. You're 80, but you feel 40 kind of thing. That 20 years ago, there was technologies coming out that I thought was going to really increase that and advance that. Stem cells, gene therapy, nanotechnology, little teeny tiny robots. And a lot of that's progressed, especially gene therapy. But as soon as AI hit the market, like for the typical regular lab to use AI to do research, I mean, you could plug everything into an AI language learning model, and it will completely do all the research for you like that. I mean, take months, years, 20 years to develop a drug. Now with AI, we're talking weeks, months. I mean, it's the regulations that are the only thing holding up some of the stuff that's coming out, but they have to because they're like, oh, well, we already have the solution. Well, let's test it for 20 years. Like, why? I mean, that is going to transform the way we live, the way we look at life, the way we look at a lot of things. But that's a whole rabbit hole to go down. The thing that I really want to talk about the most, and I mean, I could talk about the history of AI. It's been around for a while. I could talk about probably the biggest thing that has happened to us in this generation of everybody living in this room that we look at as what's transformed our lives is computers. It was pretty big even in the 60s and 70s and 80s, got us to the moon, the first vacuum tube computers and whatnot. In the 90s, we started seeing personal computers in homes and in houses and that kind of, in businesses, it was like in the 80s and whatnot. Government and schools, it was in the 70s. But that really, in the 2000s and when cell phones started being the actual personal computer, kind of transformed us. Google kind of transformed us with computers. The internet kind of transformed us. None of that even compares whatsoever. It's a drop in the bucket to what AI is going to do to us in the next 5-10 years. And it already is now. How many raise your hand if you, in the last 24 hours, have used AI to answer a question? I mean, that's half the room. And it'll grow as the rest of us kind of understand and realize, and not just like computers and the internet. There was a fear that, calculators, there was a fear. I can do math, I can write it on a piece of paper, I don't need a calculator. And it's like the calculator, it kind of does make you stupid a little bit, makes you dumb, makes you not think. But at the same time, it frees up your time. Instead of doing that long problem on paper, now you can do it in an instant on a calculator and you can do something else. And AI, that's kind of what it's doing. It's giving us the ability to do other things with our time that are a lot more valuable than the mundane everyday stuff. Which, really is probably far more transformative than computers, than cell phones, even though cell phones have really transformed us and not for the better. And there's always a negative. And I still don't see the negatives that everybody looks at with AI and they immediately are like, it's a buzzword, it's not real. I'm not seeing that with businesses that I'm helping. When I get something there, and in particular, I have one business, the guy #1 in Tennessee, Kentucky, Illinois, Indiana for shipping container sales, I had him nationally #1 for a while, calls every 5 minutes. People are calling about a big old shipping container. Most of them don't know what they want, don't know what they are, don't know how much they cost, what they can do with it. They have a million questions. And he would try to hire sales teams, I've been with him 10 years, to answer the phone and talk about it. And anybody that works in sales, we know that it's like a natural ability to sell. Either you have it or you don't. I've tried to train so many people in so many industries to sell, and either you have it or you don't. Problem is, when you find somebody that does have it, they're pretty intelligent. They probably are going to do things like undercut you. They're going to look at where your sources are. They're going to eventually go and do it on their own. And I've seen that happen to lots of different people. It's happened to him, the shipping container company, multiple times, where he'd get somebody really good at selling containers, know what they're talking about. Eventually, they'd kind of figure out where the sources were from China, and then they go do it on their own, and they go right out from underneath them. And I've seen that happen over and over. And then he'd have to get them off the phone and be on the phone himself. And he'd be answering every single phone call. For probably 3 years, I could not talk. Nobody could talk to him because he was just far too busy. He didn't trust other people to close the deal, other people to not steal his secrets. About a year and a half ago, I got him on AI, and as soon as we started training an AI to answer his phone calls, and the AI I use is really, really good, but people can still kind of pick up that it's AI and be a little bit put off by it. I was going to show you guys, I've got recordings from a year and a half ago. It's upgraded now, but people would question it, oh, you're AI, and they'd ask it are you going to take over the future? What's your name? Tell me about yourself. Who are you? Do you realize that you're AI? All those kind of questions, and it would answer them flawlessly. It was crazy. It was really, really good stuff. But what it did for him was it made it to where he didn't have to answer the phone anymore. The AI can filter the calls. People call in, and if it's Walmart looking for 40 shipping containers, $100,000 sale, and if it's a guy over here looking, how to put a door on it? Can I put an AC unit on it? I don't really know. Maybe next month. The AI will answer it, talk to them, get their information, and then they can get in there and filter that call and call Walmart back right away. And then this guy, maybe a month from now, and that I don't even know how much. It's 10 times his income, and his really time is more important. It's given him time back to be able to talk to me. So as far as one aspect of something it does that's just incredible, that right there, and I've done that for many other businesses, and it's not just calls, but I mean I've got AI that can answer your text messages, your chat on the website, your Facebook messages, your Instagram messages, and it is like training an employee where I will sit down with the business owner for a month, couple weeks, and we will, the three of us, me, the owner, and the AI, will train the AI like an employee. But as soon as we get done training the AI, which is actually pretty quick these days, it used to be a lot longer, but it learns faster and faster and faster. Like every day it learns faster. It's crazy. Now, we release it, and they literally have an employee that can work for them 24/7, 365, answer 100 calls at once, 3 in the morning, whatever. So it's huge from that perspective. And I really love what it's doing for businesses. What somebody, Elon Musk or somebody powerful in the tech industry has said, and it's totally true, within 5 years, probably sooner, there won't be anybody you call. Very few. I mean, there'll still be people who are like, I'm not going to use AI, but most companies will be using AI to answer the phone. You would think right now, that sucks. I want to talk to a human. I promise that you will change your mind on that in a heartbeat. It's not like an IVR, a prompt, like press 1 for this, press 2 for that, and then you answer, and it's like yes or no answer. It's not that clunky system. It's not even what Verizon or Wendy's has now, where I'll tell Wendy's I don't want a bun, and like, it's what? I don't want a bun. Like, could you give me a lettuce bun? Lettuce what? And then somebody has to get on. This AI really can understand and have conversations with people in full format, and then if you go off topic, it'll bring you back on topic. Like it's pretty incredible. And then within 5 years, everybody's going to be using it. So it's one of those things where you want to get ahead now and already learn how to use something like that with your business, because your competition is going to do it and they're going to fly past you, and it'll be done. Yes.
So with what you're talking about, let's say, I don't know, I have an insurance question, right? And Blue Cross actually is really good, but I need to call in, right? Sometimes I'm on hold for a while, sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I get the new person, sometimes I get someone that knows what's going on. So can I assume that AI can be built to talk to 10,000 people at once? So you're never waiting on hold, and if it does need to learn something new, if something new happens, you're not training 1,000 agents. You're gonna say, hey, this product we have changed. Now you can tell all 1,000 people about the new thing and the new way it's happening. Is that correct?
Yes. And how much money did that save that company? Now,
but it saved me blood pressure bill.
That's what I was about to say. And then how much time did it save the callers getting the information they needed? So like the productivity increase, it's like a butterfly effect. I mean, it affects everything, everywhere. So it's not something to be scared of. It's in fact something that's going to change everything, and not in 5 years. Like, it's changed it yesterday. It's changing it right now, and by tomorrow it's going to be completely different again. It's crazy.
Have there been any economists that have looked at, like, technology has always replaced workforce, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it used to take a whole lot of people to build a car in a factory. The more and more robots we get, it takes less humans to build the car in the factory. As that started happening, everyone thought, well, now no one's going to have a job in mass unemployment. And over time, what of course has happened is those people in those fields have moved to different fields and done different things. It all kind of sorts itself out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that anything like robotics and car manufacturing didn't happen in 2 years. So I don't know that we've had anything happen that fast. But all of those people sitting in call centers, right? You're saying in 5 years, they'll all be gone, out of jobs. That job will not exist for that person, right?
If the company.
Well, no. That's what
so.
everybody, like, when a business owner calls me and is like, I want AI, and then they start telling their manager, and the manager starts telling the employees, like, we're looking at getting AI to do this or that. Everybody starts getting scared. And then I'll have a meeting with them and kind of show them what it's done for other businesses. And all the staff there realizes, wait a minute, it's going to take away the crap I don't want to do. And now I can do other things. Like it doesn't, and then there's still always going to need to be some kind of human interaction at some point. And especially in the sales process, like it's really bad to try to let AI go from start to finish. People want a human, especially if it's a high ticket item. Like you're not gonna, AI could sell small stuff all day long, but if it's something $500,000, $5,000, $100,000, like a shipping container, like I can't get, and we're trying to get them from start to finish to buy the $5,000 shipping container, but people still, that's a lot of money when you haven't talked to somebody, so even with credibility and everything, it's kind of hard, but.
I mean, it's going to eliminate some of the jobs. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I
Steven.
see you looking. Go ahead. I can't see behind me.
Go ahead, Steven. He's been raising his hand for a little while.
I have a question. Okay, I use ChatGPT and Claude for my personal stuff and my university stuff. What I'm curious about is how does that connect to a system that is a mass system? So that's the part I haven't figured out yet. So let's say MTSU decides to invest in AI, and how does AI interface with all of the existing systems that we have to gradually take on this process?
Well, like the internet, there are nodes, there are servers all over the place, and that's why AI uses a lot of power, a lot of servers. All that information is stored. Basically, it's gathering information, and it's already scanned the internet, and it's already gathered everything it possibly could and put it in a repository, and then now you have people accessing it and getting into it. So it needs space and it needs bandwidth, but that's distributed across the country. Keep having more and more server farms, more and more AI data centers put in. We're trying to not have them in this area for whatever reason. I can't, I think it's not really going to bring jobs, I guess, because there's not a whole lot of jobs that you need for a data center. But yeah, that's,
And I'm going to ask one more follow-up and then somebody else. Is your role to teach it how to interface with, let's say, I don't have this power, but let's say I could bring MTSU to you and say, take over student recruiting. That's a huge leap for me as a person from one guy plugging away at ChatGPT. How does that work? That kind of connecting up?
There are systems now that's not ChatGPT. I've sat in a meeting with a roofing company recently where it was another AI company doing a sales pitch, and they wanted me there to kind of see, because we were already building something for them, but it's just a custom built system. And Claude, oh my gosh, Claude is an AI that can do coding. That's the other thing, coding is gone. You don't need to learn coding anymore. I mean, it's like, it's just, you don't have to. I know it, some of it. My son's been trying to learn it, and I'm almost like telling my son, you don't really, I want you to know it, but C++ and all that stuff, it takes a long time. It's not easy to understand. Some of it's easier, Python, other languages, but with Claude or even ChatGPT, it's like, I don't even know how to explain that to somebody, because you guys as professors know is the learning process and what that means to learn something. And what Google has done to us in learning, and taken away the encyclopedia. When I was a kid, I went to the library and I looked everything up at the library, even as a teenager, for my school research papers. And then Google came about, and it was like, oh my gosh, well now you have AI, and it just, takes over everything. But also what you're saying, I have a lot of companies coming to me now with these pie in the sky ideas that AI can just take over everything, and I'm having to bring them back down. Actually, eventually it will, and I have automation systems that can do things and then pull AI into it to ask questions, query stuff, and then based on the response from AI, can pull it back into a process, sending out text messages, emails, doing internal stuff for a school, a university institution, or for a business. But still, it's not quite to where you just give it a bunch of stuff and then it spits out a whole system. It's still more just information that you have to disseminate yourself. But it's getting, ChatGPT just allowed you to start adding images maybe a couple months ago. They've always done it, but it can now scan them very thoroughly. And my wife's even able to take a picture of her face and say, okay, what do I need to fix blah, blah, blah. Where before, you'd maybe go to a doctor or something, for that kind of thing. And as far as that goes with the medical field, I mean, it has transformed some pretty serious functions within that field, because what you were talking about with radiology, I've heard that radiologists, some of them somewhere, I don't know where, what, this is just something I've heard, are required to let AI scan the film first before they're allowed to go in and do a diagnosis on it, because the AI is, and then they kind of diagnose what the AI diagnosed, because the AI is going to find things, it can see things better than the trained radiologist can, because it's an image, you know, and there's very small nuances that even a radiologist couldn't see that AI can see, and it's already saved many lives because of that aspect right there.
Yeah. Well, I have a sort of a negative view, and you might expect that since I'm probably the oldest person here. But I think AI is a race to mediocrity. You can't deal with it on the phone, and yet it never answers the question that you really have. My personal experience with hundreds of students who try to use AI, they write AI, it does not follow the rules of grammar, and it makes stuff up. And they give you a reference for that, it's a made-up reference.
Yep.
So I think if we start accepting that as a norm, then we're in a race toward mediocrity relative to the robots making the cars. Henry Ford and Walter Reuther, if you remember who Walter Reuther is, head of the UAW, were viewing the new assembly line with all the robots, and Henry was touting the precision of the robots making the cars, and so forth, you know, how perfect they were and all that. And Walter Reuther looked at him and said, "Mr. Henry, how many cars are those robots going to buy?" So I kind of think we're in a spiral here toward mediocrity, and I think we're accepting that because the automation, the robotics, the AI has a tendency toward diminishing our cognitive abilities and thought processes, because we depend on that rather than think about it ourselves.
I'm
That's
so
just
happy.
my 2 cents.
I'm standing right here right now. If I were sitting right there, there's many times where other people have been up here talking about AI, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, gnashing my teeth, because that's absolutely true, and false at the same time, because every person is different, so it affects different people different ways. Some people, a calculator, Google, the internet, just wasted.
I like technology. I'm not saying I'm against it. I like technology.
Yeah, but it depends on how. Well, and then but some people waste that. They don't know how to use it. They get addicted to it. They use it the wrong way. And some people utilize it as a tool that it's supposed to be. You know, they know how to use that wrench. They could completely break down the engine and build the engine back up. And somebody who knows how to query, how to prompt AI correctly, can get some things you could never ever do, and I do it every day all the time. But you're right, it is because I was born in '85, and I went from no computers anywhere, no cell phones, still had pay phones and phone books, to all the way through to the internet. Like, I feel like I saw the transformation more than anybody. When I was born in 1985, we had no idea there were other planets out there, not one. Not one. In 1985, we had not seen another planet outside of our solar system. We had not seen another planet. That's how much we've changed in 40 years. Like, oh my goodness, that one fact alone blows my mind. But with this AI thing, it's just in its infancy. Like, what you're looking at is like Google when it first started. I mean, it was people asked questions, and they got horrible websites, and it got better and better and better. So it's getting better, and it is. The mundane mediocrity thing, that does drive me a little crazy, because I see that happening to me. I see that happening to my wife. I don't want it to happen to my kids, where we are losing some ability to be intelligent on our own. And it is true that if you go about 50 years ago, before the internet, the mind was far better at handling problem solving, because you could do it on your own quickly. And now you have to have this tool. Like, we're all stuck with our box for Google the last 30 years, and then we're going to get more, all of us are going to get more and more reliant on AI, to the point where we're going to have Optimus robots in our house that has AI in it, and you're not even going to have to pull up your phone. You're going to have your robot, you'll be able to ask it anything, and it'll be able to answer and do better than any other. So yeah, it does take away our ability to think,
I want no robot in my house.
But it's gonna
They
happen.
can do my yard work all they want.
It's gonna
That
happen.
mulch you were talking about with the robots.
Yes.
My opinion is, we have a parallel process going which checks quality. In other words, that you don't know, you assume, and you understand what assume means. You assume it's probably correct, but you're not 100% sure.
Well, the quality control is Gloria, me, and Steve at this point.
Well, as good as you are, I'm hoping that you're not quite as quick as the computer. I'm just concerned about, is there efforts being undertaken to develop systems to check
Yes.
what's coming out?
Yeah. And with that, my question follow-up too was regulations as far as it and what your opinions are, because I grew up even later, like I barely made the 90s cut, okay? And so I also grew up talking about phones, great, they're awesome. I grew up without regulations around them, and many of my generation are addicted to them. And so what are your opinions around, that quality control and regulations around?
Well, there is a lot of quality control built in. There's a lot of rules built. There's a lot of questions I've asked it that it won't answer. There is a lot of hallucinating that it does, but that was the beginning. It's actually the quality control has always. There are engineers out there working. There are coders and programmers working, very smart people to make sure that it's. But we're also talking about there's multiple other things I'd love to get into. The singularity, the super intelligence. Right now we're only talking about generative. We're talking about something that looks at our collective intelligence and then spits something back out to us.
Probably why it spits out.
It's not even artificial intelligence. That's not artificial intelligence. That's generative intelligence. That's like, let me take your info and give you, but if I'm going to come up with my own concepts, I can, but it's based off of your concepts that humanity has given me. It's still not hit the singularity where it can come up with its own new concepts that it wasn't given prior to the language learning models. So the quality control is kind of us. I mean, it doesn't know anything that we haven't given it. It's not that smart yet, but it's getting there.
One of the things, just
Yeah.
real quick, one of the things that we got to realize is what AI is doing for us. Kind of look at what's one of the stocks that has actually exploded over the last year.
Yeah.
Caterpillar. AI is not going to run a bulldozer.
So you're gonna say NVIDIA.
And so, yeah. So the bottom line here is that AI is going to take out some of these things that can happen, and now we think about what else can we make, what else can we build, what else can we. And so,
Where can we go?
right.
There's.
So along those
Who can we
lines-
help? As far as a Rotary Club, this is something I wanted to do with this, and I'm so sad, and it's already all developed. I have a phone number that Rotary has, 615-857-3985. That is our Rotary phone number. If you call that phone number right now, there is a fully trained AI to answer all your questions about this club. Not just trained on our club, but I've given it a lot of information, bylaws, meetings, the entire Rotary.org website, 4,000 pages. It knows all of it. I don't know how. Our website has 2,000 pages. I guess I've got a lot on there. I need to look at that, but it scanned all that. And I've put in a few more things in there to try to train it, and I've only spent a couple hours on it last night. So I don't know how good it is, but if you call it, it's got one of 500 personalities I can choose from. The speed of the voice, I can even upload my own voice into it, and it can be my voice answering the phone as AI. It's creepy, but it's getting there. It's already there. What I'm talking about. And I can change the temperature. I can change. I can put background noise. I have background noise in it. The interruption sensitivity on when somebody says something, how much it's interrupted. There's like 50 things I can adjust to make it more. I've added uhs and ums to it and everything. Like, it's very real.
Last question.
Yes.
This isn't a question, it's testimony. Okay. I've lived in America since 1987, and I still can't get rid of that British Australian sarcasm in my letters. I put the letters in AI, I started sending them to my boss, who is very American. I'm getting things from her that I could never get before. Somehow it is able to transfer me to being an American. God bless you.
Will you text me that phone number?
Yes.
I'll send it
yes.
out. He's going to text me the phone number, and I'm going to send it out by P-text to everybody so everyone can call it if they want to. So, you know, my personal opinion is we're still a society of people, and this is going to sound fatalist, but I think what will happen is we will screw it all up, and then we will figure out what to do with it, because that's typically how society deals with things.
I'm
So,
gonna turn that back on since I was up there, I turned it off.
yeah, that's
you
okay.
know, but you
Yeah, I
guys-
appreciate
you guys
that.
can have it on.
So that's my guess. So, but I real quick, we'll share what he was talking about with radiology, and I promise you, it did not replace my doctor. I saw her this morning, and she told me what to do with it. But you know, if you go get imaging of some kind, you get a radiology report, and if you're not in the medical field, there's all these terms and words, and you're like, oh, it sounds so scary. I'm clearly dying, right? Because you don't know what any of it means. So I was curious, knowing that this was coming up, so I got on ChatGPT and I started just kind of typing a few things in, and what it said to me was, if you have the radiology report, upload it. Well, my wife picked it up. She had taken a photo of it, so I uploaded the photo into ChatGPT, and to its credit, it did not diagnose anything, but what it did is it gave me a definition of all the terms. That, I mean, that's objective. This is what that means. So I was able to, through ChatGPT, read the radiology report and understand the terms of what it was saying. I needed a doctor to tell me what that means, but you know, it did answer a couple questions for me. So I thought that was interesting. And I think the last 3 times I have been to the doctor, all of them have used and I think it's some kind of AI, but it's a transcriber. And I will tell you that my experience sitting with a doctor who is not worried about taking notes and they're just having a conversation with me is much better, because you're just having a conversation. So there are good things that can happen.
Long War
So.
is the Santa Claus. You're the best example.
Oh yeah, if you were at the Christmas party, he programmed a Santa Claus to talk to your kids. So
And it was AI.
it needed a little refinement. It said ho 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 in a weird way that creeped me out for my kids. It was like, and it said it too often, and I was like, I don't know. It was a little weird. I was like, I don't know. So, do we have any family of Rotary real quick? We'll blast through the rest of this. Family Rotary, anybody? Anything going on? All right. We had our scholarship reception last week. I will have some photos. Lee should send them to me next week.